Good morning, students. Welcome to the class of economics. We are studying Indian economic development, chapter 3rd, which is features, problems, and policies of agriculture. So, yesterday we studied about the problems of Indian agriculture, and today we will study agrarian reforms in Indian agriculture. हमने पढ़ी थी बहुत सारी परेशानियां एग्रीकल्चर में, जमींदारी सिस्टम और स्कैटर्ड लैंड एंड मैनी मच प्रॉब्लम्स वर देयर एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया made some reforms after independence to improve the system of agriculture in India. Reforms का मतलब होता है positive changes, हिंदी में कहते हैं सुधार, correction. So with a view to tackling the problems of Indian agriculture, the government has taken a series of reform measures since independence. These reform measures are popularly known as agrarian reforms. These are broadly classified as in the following flow chart. So you can look into the chart. There are three types of reforms: technical reforms, institutional reforms, which are also called as land reforms, and general reforms. Under technical reforms, the things related to modernization, that are HYV seeds, chemical fertilizer, insecticides, pesticides, scientific farm management, mechanized means of cultivation. Institutional reforms are abolition of intermediaries, regulation of rent, consolidation of holdings, ceiling on land holding, and redistribution of surplus land, cooperative farming, etc. General reforms are expansion of irrigation facilities, provision of credit, regulated market and cooperative marketing societies, price support policy. In what follows, we attempt a brief description of the various reforms. First of all, we are going to start technical reforms. New agricultural strategy. Technical reforms, by name, it means that we made an attempt to go towards modernization. First of all, we started use of HYV seeds, high yielding variety सीड. नाम से ही उनका पता है अपने को, ज्यादा जिसमें प्रोडक्शन मिलता हो, ऐसे हाइब्रिड सीड गवर्नमेंट ने इश्यू करे. इन 1965 हाई यील्डिंग वैरायटी सीड्स हैव रिप्लेस्ड द कन्वेंशनल वैरायटीज. HYV seeds especially relating to wheat, bajra, rice, maize, jawar and cotton have led to a substantial rise in crop productivity. This breakthrough is popularly known as Green Revolution. National Seeds Corporation has been set up to promote the growth and distribution of HYV seeds. In 2016-17, nearly 6,20,743 quintals of certified seeds were distributed among farmers in different parts of the country. So, Government of India in 2016-17 distributed such quintals of certified seeds for the increment in agriculture productivity. Use of chemical fertilizer. Chemical fertilizers are being increasingly used to enhance productivity. Use of chemical fertilizer has considerably increased over time. In 17-18, nearly 265.9 lakh tons of chemical fertilizer were used. Use of insecticides and pesticides for crop protection. Insecticides and pesticides are used to kill the insects and pests which makes trouble in the agriculture. Steps have been initiated to protect crops against diseases and insects by using insecticides and pesticides. 14 central plant protection centers have been set up in this respect. For plant protection, integrated pest management program was adopted along with the adoption of HYV technology. So government make central plant protection center and also integrated pest management program was adopted for issuing HYV seeds and also for issuing insecticides and pesticides for the protection of crops from pests and insects. Scientific farm management practices. Stress has been laid on scientific cultivation as against conventional farming. Conventional farming means traditional methods, and scientific farming means modern methods. Scientific methods of farming relate to selection of crops and their quality. So, for selecting the crop, farmer should have knowledge of science, and also he should know the weather which is suitable to the crops. Preparation of soil. The in today's scenario, soil health can be checked. How much nitrogen, potassium are present, magnesium are present in soil. It can be calculated through the lab testing. Rotation of crops. Crop rotation is also very compulsory for the improvement of agriculture productivity. If same crop is again and again cultivated in the same field, then there will be lack of nutrients in the soil. And if crop is being rotated one after another, then the fertility of soil is regained through nature. Selection of seed and use of fertilizer besides others. In this connection, intensive agricultural area program has been introduced. It is the name of program. Another program is also integrated rural development program has been launched to speed up the process of growth in agriculture. As many as 23 agriculture universities are engaged in promoting research on scientific cultivation. So there are 23 agriculture universities which are engaging in promotion of scientific research in agriculture. Fifth is mechanized means of cultivation. Several measures have been taken to spread the use of mechanized means of cultivation. To enable the small farmers to buy agricultural machines, cheap credit facilities are provided by cooperative societies, small and marginal farmer agencies, regional rural banks, and commercial banks. In almost all states, agro industries corporations have been set up for this purpose. तो गवर्नमेंट ने किसानों के द्वारा एग्रीकल्चर मशीन खरीदने के लिए चीप क्रेडिट फैसिलिटीज प्रोवाइड कर रखी हैं, which are provided by cooperative societies, small agencies, and RRBs and commercial banks. And also, all states have set up agro industries corporations, which take care of agricultural development and agricultural credits. Next point is institutional reforms or land reforms. So, as we studied in the previous chapter, there were a lot of problems in land. Land are controlled by that is zamindars, that are the land owners, and peasants are given minimum wages for their agriculture. Also, there were so many problem about the rent and also the scattered land holding. To improve these situations, government launched or government adopts many institutional reforms, first of which is abolition of intermediaries. Intermediaries between the state and the actual tiller of the soil, but popularly known as zamindar, have been abolished. So zamindari system was abolished by government. Ownership rights have been conferred upon those who actually cultivate the soil. They gave ownership rights to the direct cultivator. This has been done with a view to stopping exploitation of the cultivators by the जमींदार. ऐसा क्यों किया गया? जिससे कि जमींदारों द्वारा जो किसानों के ऊपर अत्याचार होता था वो रोका जा सके. Second is regulation of rent. To put an end to excessive and illegal extortions from cultivators, rents have been fixed. Rent को fix कर दिया गया. Generally, these are not to exceed 1/3 of the value of crop. Now, not more than 1/3 of the crop can be charged as rent by the landowner. So the farmer will get 2/3 of the portion of the agriculture, which is a big portion, and so he can earn his own earnings as well as he can save money for reinvestment in agriculture. Third is consolidation of holdings. Holdings means land ownership, which was very much scattered. Small and scattered lands were there. So government took charge of the land and combined them and then gave again to the farmer. With a view to reducing fragmentation, steps have been initiated for the consolidation of holdings. Consolidation is a practice to allot land to the farmer at one place as a replacement for his scattered holdings here and there. तो उनको एक जगह जमीन दे दी गई, इधर उधर जमीन की बजाय। इट सेव्स द कॉस्ट ऑफ कल्टीवेशन, और हमने पढ़ा था कि एक जगह अगर लंबी जमीन होती है तो उससे कॉस्ट ऑफ कल्टीवेशन कम होती है। By 2004, more than 1633 lakh hectares of land was brought under consolidated holding. इतनी जमीन को कंसोलिडेट कर दिया गया और अलग अलग फार्मर्स को उनको दे दिया गया। फोर्थ इज सीलिंग ऑन लैंड होल्डिंग, क्योंकि कुछ लोगों के पास बहुत ज्यादा जमीनें थी और कुछ लोगों के पास बिल्कुल जमीनें नहीं थी। सो गवर्नमेंट पुट सीलिंग ऑन लैंड होल्डिंग with a view to promoting equality in the distribution of land. Ceiling has been imposed on the holding size. Now, not more than the maximum size determined by the government, farmers or any landowner can have. Ceiling on holdings is the maximum size of cultivable land holding that an individual or a family can own. Government makes some restriction about the maximum land holding, and those who have more than that limit, that this land will be surrendered to government, and government will give this land to the small poor farmer. The surplus land over and above the ceiling limit has been resumed by the government and redistributed among smallholders or landless laborers. Fifth is cooperative farming. Cooperative farming is encouraged to enhance bargaining power of the smallholder, because cooperative farming means the farmers will become united, they will mix their production and then sell the production in bulk, so can they bargain and they can sell their products at the maximum rate. Together they can buy inputs at a lower price and sell their produce at a higher price. Two basic objectives of land reform is to end exploitation of the actual tillers of the soil so that they are able to generate surplus for investment. Productivity in agriculture is expected to rise only when the farmers are able to generate surplus for investment. क्योंकि एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी को बढ़ाना है तो हमें फार्मर को सरप्लस देना होगा। फार्मर के पास सरप्लस यानी कि सेविंग्स बचेंगी, तभी वो उसमें री इन्वेस्टमेंट कर पाएगा जमीन में, और तभी जमीन की फर्टिलिटी मेंटेन रह पाएगी। एंड सेकंड ऑब्जेक्टिव वाज टू प्रमोट इक्वलिटी इन द रूरल इकोनॉमी। सो देयर वाज so much gap between rich and poor, between the landowners and tillers in the agriculture, in the farmer, in the rural society. It was to be filled. So to promote equality, government adopted many land reforms which we studied today. Okay, make notes of the chapter and post in the group. Have a good day. Thank you.